All right, 8 o'clock, everybody. We get ready to get started. Tonight, we're starting lesson 1 as it relates to developing the leader within you. That's what we're dealing with. And tonight's lesson is the definition of leadership, which is the word influence. The definition of leadership, and the word tonight we're going to deal with is influence. All right. I believe that that's going to help us. Influence. So, yeah. Influence is going to be good. Okay. We're going to talk about the definition of it. Okay. And I want to just give you some critical points and keys. So you might want to just write some of these things down on your paper somewhere, and we move around. Okay. I want to open up first by saying that it's only after you have stepped outside of your comfort zone that you will begin to change, grow, and transform. It is not to after you have stepped out of your comfort zone that you're going to begin to grow, change, and transform. Did y'all get that? It is only after you have stepped outside of your comfort zone that you're going to begin to grow, change, and transform. As I'm talking to you today, I want you to understand is that success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference in the world. Let the improvement of yourself keep you so busy that you have no time to criticize other people. Y'all ain't gonna like me tonight, I promise you. This is where Robbie Peters is today, and I pray that you will catch me in this area of leadership, because this is what God is teaching me, and this is what he had to reset me to do even today. This is what leadership does. Hear me, write it down. Listen with curiosity. Speak with honesty. Act with integrity. Let me give it to you again. Speak with honesty. Listen with curiosity. Act in integrity. Why are you saying that to me, Dr. Peters? The greatest problem with communication is that we do not listen to understand. We listen to reply. We listen to criticize, but we don't listen with the intent to reply. We listen for what's behind the words. We listen to what we have already embedded in our mind that the person is going to always say. And I don't care if you're black, white, straight, lesbian, tall, fat, whatever the case is. You need to be nice to people, because that's how you're going to gain the best power of your leadership for you to grow to where you need to really be. Write this down. You might want to tag it somewhere later. Don't follow the crowd. Let the crowd follow you. Okay? Your job is to create more leaders, not create followers. They may start off as followers, but they should end up being leaders. In other words, they should be the students and graduate to be the teacher. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one that does all the greatest things, but the greatest leader is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. Y'all ain't ready for me. When John wrote this book, one of the things that you're going to read about the book, he said leadership is not about titles, positions, and flow charts. It's about making one's life, influencing them one day at a time. So it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. All that matters is that you get up one more time than you got knocked down. I put this up on Facebook about 2 years ago, and I want to give this to you today that I believe is going to help you. I want to give you the 7 effective ways to make other people feel important. Use their name as number 1. Number 2, express sincere gratitude. Number 3, do more listening than talking. Number 4, talk more about them than about you. Be authentically interested. Be sincere in your praise, and show people that you authentically care. Leadership is not power. Power isn't control at all. Power is strength, and giving that strength to other people. A leader isn't someone who forces others to make them stronger. In fact, a leader is someone willing to give their strength to somebody else and giving them the strength to stand on their own. I don't think y'all ready for me. Um, give you a couple of more and I'm through. Don't try to blow out another person's candle just so yours can just shine a little bit brighter. Because leadership is an art of getting someone else to do something that you want done. Hear me, because they really won't do it. If you're not confused, you're not paying attention. Let me give you this last one, and we're going to go right through the paper, and I'm going to bid you adieu today. I cannot trust a person to control others who cannot control themselves. Please write that down. I can't trust a man, I can't trust a woman to control others who can't control themselves. And don't set your goals by what other people deem as important. Integrity is doing the right thing and truthfully doing it. And do as I do, not just do as I say. Be a leader that when you right, you'll stay with them. And hear me, you will not leave them when they're wrong. You'll help them straighten the places out. Because life is too short to focus on what really matters most. You should change your priorities over time. My brother said something to me yesterday, and I'll hold on to this. He said, Robbie, faith will always move mountains. Love transforms hearts. So you don't lead people by hitting them over the head. That's assault. That's not leadership. So make the people around you feel important. And the more you talk about them, the more important that they're going to feel. The more you listen to them, the more important that they're going to think that you care about them. So, number one, I'm not a born leader. Why many people don't develop as leaders? Why they don't? Number one, because I'm not a born leader. That's what people will say. Number two, a title and seniority will automatically make me a leader. Not necessarily so. Work experience will automatically make me a leader. Not necessarily so. I'm waiting until I get a position to start developing as a leader. Not going to happen for you. Now, which of these above reasons do not develop leaders has been your default? Which one of them? Because you're not a born leader, time and seniority, your experience, or you want to wait until you got the position and now say that you're ready to amp up and do something. How will you develop the leader within you? Influence is the beginning of true leadership. Influence is the beginning of true leadership. I hope y'all got that. Influence is the true beginning of leadership. It is. It actually helps you in areas that you didn't even understand what would actually be the case. You can be more influential if people knew about some of your influence that you have. There has to be some level of influence that you want to understand about yourself. Your absence has gone through me like thread through a needle. But understand something, when you have some good influence, sometimes if you want to change a person's mind, you got to change the mind of the person next to them first. So understand who you are and why you're where you are. If you believe your thoughts originate inside of your brain, you got to believe, hear me, that it's more important that the key to successful leadership is really your influence and not your authority. And so many times you have so many people that think their authority is what drives your leadership. That's not necessarily so. It's nowhere near so, if I have to really be honest with you. One of the best ways to influence the people is make the other people around you feel important. And you got to make them feel important. If you don't make them feel important, I'm telling you right now, everything around you is going to be blurry. Everything around you is not going to be the way that it's supposed to be. It's not going to flash and shine the way that it's supposed to do. That's why I said earlier, do more listening than talking. Talk more about them than about you. You got to understand that. You got to make sure that you hear the heart of the people of who are subject to you. So some of the questions that I'm going to ask you is going to be in your group tonight. And contrary to popular opinion, leadership is not a reserved position for a particular group. You got to understand that. Leadership is self-made, self-retained, and then exposed through a faithful, sincere, exemplary life. So understand, it's given to a certain group of people who are elected, appointed, ordained, or enthroned. That's what leadership is really about. I'm telling you, leadership is not reserved for that. It's self-made. And hear me, self-leaders are still true leaders even if they don't have any known followers. True leaders inspire by the influence of their characters and their general made brands. Okay? So leadership is defined by the virtue of your behavior. It is. Self-leaders do not look for followers because they are busily pursuing the influential dreams that would trace other people that they're asking for. Followers look for influence, and they could be obtained from self-leaders. You got to understand that. Self-mentoring. Self-mentoring is really advisable for the individuals who love the ideal of growing and nurturing and building. It really is. So you could be in a room, you can lead people. Just develop your potentials and publicize them, and you'll see the people looking for your product. Y'all missed it. That's the influence. Self-made leaders don't look for followers. Followers look for them. You might want to write that down. Write this down. Everyone, it says insight about influence. Everyone influences someone. Number 2, we don't always know who or how much we influence. The best investment in tomorrow is to develop your influence today. So I'm going to give you the 5 levels of leadership, and we're almost done. You ready? Here we go. Number 1, the first level is position. And it has the notes right there that you can read. Level 2 is permission. Level 3 is production. Level 4, people development. Let's talk about it. People development. So am I passionate? Number 1, letter A, am I passionate about my personal growth? Do you have a personal growth plan? That's going to be one of your questions tonight. We're going to talk about it. Level 2, does my growth journey have credibility? Letter C, are people attracted to me because of my growth? Letter D, am I successful in the areas where I want to develop other people? Letter E, have I crossed over the spent time, invest time line? Letter F, do I have a teachable way of life? Letter G, am I willing to be vulnerable, to be a vulnerable role model and coach? Letter H, do the people I develop succeed? I think we can stop right there. You know, I drop it like it's hot on the first week. I think I gave you enough to really think about. Meet me in the chat room tonight for your case study questions. I gave you enough to meditate. Next class, April 22nd. Be ready.